Okay, looks like I am live. Hi, and welcome to this week's Q&A. Let's see if we have any questions. I literally just checked the Facebook group, and I don't think there were any questions there, but Jonathan said that he and Sophie were going to try to be here, and here she is. Sophie, I'm glad you're here. I'm good, thank you. I'm busy, but it's good busy. So it's not... Sometimes it feels like you're just running around trying to... What's the word? It's Wednesday morning for me. Trying to put out fires is what I wanted to say. But this feels like a bit more fun. I'm going to tell you all about it anyway. I have brought it up before, but you may or may not have heard me talk about the project that I'm doing with Scott from the Carnivore Lion on YouTube and Annabelle from Annabelle's Awareness, and building up this gut-brain healing community, which is super exciting to me. The more I learn about it, the more excited I get about it. So in the beginning, I was like, this sounds really, really interesting, but I wasn't quite sure about how it works, what it's going to involve. And now when we're getting a lot closer to launching date, which will be on the, what is it for you? Is it the 5th of March? 6th of March even, Monday the 6th. That's going to be the first class, and that class is going to be with me. And I'm like, we'll see what happens. I think we're going to talk about affirmations. That's what I'm going to do on the first class. I think. I haven't quite decided. I have a few ideas, so we'll see what it's all about. But that community, the name, or we used to talk about it as limbic training, but we have decided to not say or refer to it as limbic training because my brain is still a bit slow on getting on board with that. My brain is still kind of seizing up when it hears limbic training. It sounds very complicated. It doesn't. My brain doesn't quite. It can't really comprehend of what that involves because the limbic system in the brain is quite large. So I think we're gonna talk about it as the gut-brain connection, because that's another way that you can look at it, and more people might be familiar with what that is. But anyhow, the more I'm reading up about it, the more excited I get, because there are so many things that you can do for people who can't find another solution. So when you have people going on a carnivore diet, they're cleaning out everything, they do all of these detoxes, and maybe they do parasite cleanses and trying liver cleanses, and they're doing all of these things, and they want to take all the supplements, and nothing helps. Maybe you will get a little bit of the way, maybe you will feel a little bit better, but you're still in a state where you're not feeling very well. Then this is probably your next step where you want to look, and we will do so many things in there. And now I've gone through what other programs are out there, and they're super expensive. Some of them are $400 per month for 2 classes a week. We're gonna do 4 classes per week plus guest experts, and we're gonna create a community, because that community is completely missing out there. And community is such a big part of healing, and we don't always think about that. But I mean, there are like a lot of studies on the importance of community for our health. So we are pack animals, and we are like inherently we want to be part of a group. And a lot of people don't feel as if they're part of any meaningful group, or that they're part of groups, but people don't really understand what the problem is and think that people in that group don't understand them. That may or may not be true. Yes, Sophie, we're doing carnivore ramblings. I'm doing ramblings until I see the questions come in. So if you want me to stop ramble, put your questions in. So, and the thing with community as well, if you're looking at that from a hormonal perspective, it's quite interesting. You have endorphins. You will get in more endorphins when you are part of a meaningful community, which will help you reduce physical pain and improve your mood. Boom, there you have it. There are other things. Serotonin, same thing. It's a neurotransmitter in your brain. It will make you feel better, and it can also help you reduce depression, which is a huge thing amongst people who have chronic illnesses that they can't do anything about. And then the big one, cortisol. When you are stressed, which is what's actually underlying all of this, when you have a limbic system impairment, your brain is stuck in a fight or flight mode. So when you're stressed, you have a lot of cortisol floating around. And when you have a lot of cortisol floating around, you're going to have an overactive immune system. And this can just lead to so many things down the line, including autoimmune disease, etc. So by just taking part of being in a community with other people who are very like-minded and working towards the same goals as you, what's going to happen is that you're going to lower your cortisol, and boom, you're going to feel better without having actually had to do anything, which is kind of sweet. But anyhow, if you're someone who cannot heal completely on a carnivore diet, you've tried all these cleanses, you've tried all of the stuff, give this a go. And we're going to give March for free to everyone who joins. So it's not going to cost you anything. You get to try it out. We do 4 classes per week. We're going to do some community building, like maybe some watch parties. We have a private community. We're going to start a buddy up system, but because we're offering March for free and there's a lot of work involved in that, we're not going to start the buddy up system until April. And I'll probably put on some virtual coffee dates as well, because I know that you guys really like them and it builds that connection. So we're going to have a lot of things going on. It's going to be super good. And when you have to start paying for it, it's just going to be $75 per month. So it's nothing like $400 for a month for having 2 classes a month, which is ridiculous. There's some cheaper alternatives out there, but they are either they're missing the community part or they do very few classes. There's such a need for this, and we want to give you everything that you need to actually get to a point where you start feeling better. So people, if you have anything like fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue syndrome, SIBO that you can't sort out with the carnivore diet, you just feel really tired all the time, like chronic Lyme's disease, autoimmunity, whatever it is, give it a go, because it might help. And it's not going to help in 1 week, by the way. You may or may not see something after 4 weeks, but usually you should start seeing some sort of improvement after maybe 6 to 8 weeks. So give it a go, see what you think. If you love it, I hope you will stay on. And if not, you can just leave. It's not a problem. You don't even have to put your credit card details or anything in. All you have to do is go to, I'm going to put it into the chat. I should have put it in there. So all you have to do is go to there. Let's see if I can find the comment myself. You just go to limbic-training.com and then you go to join. At the top, it will say get March for free or something. You just click there, put your name in, and you will get an email with the connection details to where to go, when the classes are, and you will find the schedule on the website. And we're going to try to email you before the classes as well, just to give you a little reminder. So there, yes, I'm kind of excited about that. I think that's going to be super fun. That was my morning ramble. Yes, Alex, you can sit at the front. Where's my apple? I want an apple. I haven't had apples for, God, I don't even know, a long time. Give me an apple. Right. When Pim sees me enter the chat, she has an uneasy look. What will Jonathan ramble on about next? Not at all, Jonathan. I like your ramblings. So maybe Sophie was referring to your ramblings rather than mine, which is fine. But I'm pretty good competition, Jonathan. We can ramble. We can have a ramble off. What do you call it? A ramble off. A carnivore ramblings off. I don't know. The best healing comes from being around those in your tribe. Great point. Yeah, it helps so much. I feel like my camera is very far down. There you go. I don't want to have to jump to be seen. Yeah. And I mean, I see it with a lot of people. I mean, I wouldn't say that the majority of the people in my Facebook group are actually taking part in the Zoom hangouts, etc. But the people that do take part, they freaking love it. And a lot of people have told me, like, this has helped me so much to just hang out on the Zoom hangout where most of the time we're just talking bullshit. And it just makes them feel so much better and they become so much better able to handle whatever eating problems they have or other things in their life because they have this and it just boosts all of those things and makes you feel better, and then you'll be able to handle your day better, and hopefully that would kind of be with you for a week. But I mean, that's maybe a little bit optimistic, but if you know that you can keep going back and keep coming back, if you have that community, then that's going to help as well. And we're just going to increase that even more in the gut brain healing community. We want to have a lot of opportunities for people to find that connection, and I imagine that it's going to grow over time because it's just a few of us right now, and we all need to make our income in some other way because right now it doesn't make any money, obviously. So once we actually can make a little bit of money so that it pays for our time, then we can increase that as well. We all do a lot of stuff for free, including my Zoom hangouts on the weekend, and you are more than welcome to hang out there too. You can be everywhere, all the communities that are good for you. Morning, Jim. It's only 6 minutes, Dusters, and I was rambling anyway, so you didn't really miss a lot. Your daily beatings makes me feel better. Have I ever beaten you up? Come on. Now that's unfair. Why do you think the limbic system approach is so poorly understood? This is really interesting. I think it's because it's like with everything in our society. Once like the authorities decide that this is the way, they stop looking at all the other ways. And it doesn't mean that there is no one doing this work, because there is. And I've shared this book, The Way Out, several times, which is doing a very similar thing, but for physical pain, like chronic pain. And chronic pain is not there because there is something wrong with you. It's because the nervous system has gotten so used to feeling that pain that it's just stuck there. It doesn't mean that there's something actually wrong. So if you have chronic back pain, for example, your back might be completely fine and you're still going to feel pain because you got stuck in that in the pain cycle. And then we just need to sort that out. And why I found that so fascinating is because they used the same approach as I use to treat cravings. They used that for chronic pain. And my brain was just like, what? Can you do that? And of course you can. It was just I didn't know it because I haven't heard about it before. So I think that is so super cool. And the same thing, then if you go to something like, let's say that you have SIBO and you can't get rid of SIBO with a carnivore diet, for example, and it just lingers and is there forever, what's wrong? Maybe you are stuck in, you have a limbic system impairment that is just keeping you stuck in a chronic inflammatory state. And if you don't address that, then you're never going to heal no matter what you're doing. So I think the reason that we don't know a lot about it is because no big names, or people don't talk about it enough. And the experts, they are just, most of the time, they're just researchers. They're really interested in the subject, but they are not out there talking about it. So I'm hoping that by us doing this, we will spread a little bit more awareness and get more people to realize that there are actually things that you can do. Chronic fatigue syndrome has nailed me for 14 years, not ideal. You can't have proper chronic fatigue syndrome though if you are fucking bodybuilding. I know someone who's had it for a very long time, and it all stems from trauma and eating disorder in a younger age. And I mean, that is very interesting because some of the things that can get your limbic system stuck in a fight or flight mode are both physical and emotional trauma and infections and mold exposure and chronic stress from like you perceiving stress at work or um, like a relationship breakup or whatever, like all of that can, under the wrong circumstances, create chronic inflammation by getting your limbic system in a chronic fight or flight mode. So it's a bit annoying. Will the website name stay same if you're changing name? Yeah, I imagine so. Rambolov, my favorite Russian philosopher. Yeah, excellent. I love it. Thank you, Jonathan. You're so sweet. Unable to donate coin to bot this week. Yes. I shall take all your coins. All the little gold ones. I need to study the works of this Russian gentleman. Yes, I think we all do. The value proposition of limbic system community group sounds promising. I hope many subscribe to this event. Yeah, I think this can be huge. I think there's so many people. I mean, I don't have that many people here on my Q&As, which is, in a way, is quite nice because I don't have a problem keeping up with the comments and I can answer every single comment. But if you go on Bart's Q&A, for example, the comments are just pouring in, and there's so many people there, even people who have been carnivore for a period of time. They're like, yeah, I can't get this right. What is wrong? Do I have to change my macros? Do I have to change this, that? Maybe it's not actually anything wrong with your macros or anything else. Maybe it's just like, whatever you do, it's not going to work because you're stuck in a fight or flight mode. So why not address that and then start doing all the biohacks on top of that, and then you might actually see the results. So I'm really looking forward to doing this and helping people and just like hearing about the transformations that are going to happen, because they do happen. They happen in other communities that do similar things. So I'm pretty convinced that it's going to happen when people are putting their mind to this. And we are going to be the cheapest as well, with the most freaking classes and the most community. We want to make this a no-brainer, affordable and accessible to everyone who wants to join it. Even if you just have a small thing you want to correct, then it should be worth just joining. Christina, I appreciate you and look forward to your ever-changing hair. Yes. Yeah, I need to put some of that color in again. It's so this is actually the blue, which came from me dyeing it with indigo dye a long time ago, which I stopped over a year ago now, but it's still growing out. And then I've tried to bleach it away and it didn't go away. So it's kind of like a faint blue, grayish, strange tone that I can't get out of my hair. So it's sitting there in the background. So whenever I put some other dye on, it will be like at the roots, it will be very intense. And then this will usually shine through and make it a little bit more dull. So it's like my color just changes on an almost daily basis as well, thanks to the webcam. But yeah, I'm here to entertain, Christina. You're built different. Maybe you're talking to Alex. I watched Bart's Q&A before. It was cool. Was that the Q&A with Rob? Rob is awesome. He has the best freaking radio voice. Have you heard that? Rob Goodwin. When he interviewed me, I was like, this is like being on Joe Rogan. I don't know why his channel isn't bigger, because he's actually really freaking good, and he's really, really good with asking good questions as well. There's so many great people out there. People ask the incorrect questions because their set point is stuck in a certain way. Limbic system will help resolve many issues. Yeah. This is why I can be a little bit frustrated when I get clients and they come onto, and I mean, we are only working on cravings. Like that is the main thing that we do. And then they come like, yeah, maybe I should change my macros to this, or I should do that, or whatever. And do you think that's a good idea? Will that help with my cravings? And I'm like, maybe, but the point is that if you are retraining your brain, if you're rewiring your brain, your macros are not going to matter anymore because we're dealing with the cravings, right? And it may or may not help. I don't know. I mean, you have to try. I can just tell you what I have experienced, what I've seen other people do. And the thing is, with macros, it's going to be different for everyone. There is no good answer to macros. So everyone has to keep experimenting and see how they react to it. There's so many factors that play in. In general, I think women more often do better on higher fat than men. That's a very broad generalization because there are so many outliers that doesn't fit into. And in general, someone who's lifting a lot of heavy weights would probably crave more proteins, and that's fine. Don't be afraid of the proteins just because someone said that you should eat 80% fat. If you're paying someone for diet advice and you go in there and they tell you should be eating this amount of protein, this amount of fat, or whatever, just do it. They're probably telling you to do that for a reason. Don't come to me and ask what I think, because I'm only here as your addiction coach. I'm not going to be here as your nutritionist. And if someone else has told you something, someone that you're actually paying to tell you these things, they probably have a plan for you. And they probably thought it through. They're probably not just taking it out of thin air. So just follow it, see what happens. If it doesn't work for you, it's not going to work for you. Then you can tell them, okay, this isn't working, but give it a go. Christina says, I think I missed info about the Limbus event, the limbic training. Yes. How can I find out more to join? Let me see. So, Christina, if you go to that website, limbic-training.com, you can join, and you can join in March for free. And you can also have a look at the website. It's a very simple website at this point. We haven't bothered actually doing a lot with the website because we think it's more important that we get the classes right, that we get our research right, and that we give you the best experience that you can when you actually join. So if you have any questions about it, I'm happy to answer them, and you can just ask that, or ask next Wednesday, or whatever. Tuesday for you, probably. Let's see where we were. Here we go. Sonia, I'm still really confused about eating fat. I understand that we must eat fat for energy, but if we have an excess of body fat, do we eat less fat or still keep the intake up? So, Sonia, that's completely individual. If I know that you've probably been on this diet for quite some time, so I'm gonna make some assumptions here that you've been on a carnivore diet for a longer period of time, in which case you should already have your fat metabolism kind of ramped up a bit. If you're someone who's new, then eating fat, you need to eat a lot of fat to teach your body to create the right enzymes, etc., to get it to even start burning fat for fuel. Because sometimes if you've been on a SAD diet, your body is like, we never have use of that, so that whole machinery is just shut down. But for you, I think you probably already have it. So I would play around with things. I would maybe not eat low fat, because I don't think that's ever a good idea. But what you might want to do is just play around with, some maybe OMAD a couple of times per week, maybe a longer fast once a month. Have some eating days where you eat more. Just play around with it, because we don't want the body to get used to what you're doing. That's one of the things that can make you stall. And don't be afraid of feeling hungry. But if you're already under eating, it might be that your body is in starvation mode. So if you're already under eating less is not going to help you. It's going to do the opposite. It's just going to put you into even more starvation mode. So it totally depends on where you're at now. Do you call yours a Pimbic system? I have not called it a Pimbic system, but maybe I should. In regards to my CFS diagnosis, I suffer behind closed doors. I don't understand how you can even go to the gym and function with that. I have one client with binge eating issues. We talk very little about macros. Great point again. Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much. You're welcome. Yeah, so like binge eating, it's kind of interesting. Binge eaters usually don't, they're more concerned with stop doing it. Um, I'm wondering if I ever had that binge eater saying something like, maybe I should change my macros so I don't get those urges. Maybe I have. Trying to think. That feels more like the neurotic disaster brain that a lot of people have. It's a technical term, by the way. I'm going to make it a technical term, disaster brain. It's the brain that always sees everything that can go wrong and even if things are going right, it's going to worry about what's happening in the future. Awesome. Thanks, Pim. You're welcome, Sonia. And good luck. So give me more questions. Otherwise, I have to ramble again. And we don't want ramblings too much. And meanwhile, let's see. I have to jump in the chat. I'm going to put that up again while I'm talking until I have more questions. So yeah, please do go and join that. As I said, you can join it in March. If you want to stay, then you sign up. If you don't want to stay, you don't have to do anything. It's as easy as that. And hopefully you will enjoy it and actually get something out of it. And it's gonna be great. So I'm mostly gonna be doing classes on how to retrain and rewire your brain. So there's gonna be a lot of positive affirmations. There may or may not be in the first month me talking about addiction in general as well, because I think a lot of people do suffer with that, even sick people, because they get I don't know if addiction is the right word for it, but maybe they get a little bit obsessed with researching about the condition that they have, and then they get stuck in that. So that's not not necessarily ideal. We will be working on like breaking negative thought patterns and trauma loops. So that's something that we're gonna look at as well. And processing emotions is a big thing as well. And just changing your mindset around things that upsets us in order to calm the nervous system down. So those are the things that I'm going to do. Annabelle is going to be doing mostly like practical lifestyle changes, that sort of thing, a bit of biohacking, etc. And Scott will be there and do meditations and visualizations and those things that he's practicing for himself right now to help him recover from his gut issues. And I actually did a quick interview with him that I need to edit, and since I'm editing that myself, it's taking a while, but I'm going to try to do it today, otherwise I'll have time to do it tomorrow, so we'll come up in the next day or so. And then we have one of his trainers. She's called Logan, and she's going to do some, Tai Chi and probably yoga as well. She's going to do some gentle exercise classes that anyone can take part of. That will also be really helpful for like the mind-body connection. So we're gonna have all of this stuff. So it will be super cool. Let's see. The gym keeps the brain ticking over and my aggression more controlled. It isn't rage by any means, but having intense, passionate thoughts are controlled by the gym. I can't manage it in other ways. Well, that sounds like, that's one of the things that can happen when you have a limbic system impairment, is that you just don't have good control of your emotions. And that can go to the aggression, or it can go to just being someone who cries about everything. Like it can go to all extremes. So that's kind of interesting as well. So chronic fatigue syndrome, rage. Jonathan, you need to join. God. Yeah. Why do you get so angry at the gym? Do people steal your weights? Surely no one lifts the same weights as you. Would you like me to be a guest ramble on your Pimbic system? I think Annabelle's Awareness mentioned this. Yes, that would be awesome. We're gonna have at least one guest speaker every month, and sometimes we're gonna promise one, and I like to over deliver, so I suggested that we promise one and then we give them more. Because that's how I like to do it. I promise my clients that they will get results with what they have, and then I give them even more than that. That's how I like doing business. That's how I like helping people, because I want you to just get the best of everything. Rambling is good. Everything you say is informative. Excellent. Thank you, Tammy. Would you classify my brain as a disaster variety? Yes, Alex, your brain is a disaster brain. For sure. It never shuts the fuck up, and it just continues finding things that are wrong. That's a disaster brain. So you need to just redirect that and say, yep, those things might be wrong, and here are all the things that are right. 50-50, equal airtime. That's what you want to do. Because everyone has a disaster brain. That's how the brains are made in the factory. That's how they are supposed to be. It's just that some of us are more prone to automatically do that, but you can just train that away. That's the beauty with neuroplasticity, is that you get to choose what you want to focus on, in what area you want to retrain your brain. Obviously, I'm using that in my own practice by retraining the neural pathway from having a craving to eating to having a craving and not eating. But you can choose, like, it's anything in life that you want to change about how you think or how your brain reacts, you can retrain that. But you need to focus on that one thing and do it more than once. And stick with it. If you don't stick with it, it's never going to happen. Samantha, I'm working on my cravings every day. Yay! There's only crappy food here. I think I'm making progress. What do the doctors think? I don't have a second part. Or do the doctors think that you're making progress? As long as you think you're making progress, that's awesome, because you know yourself best. Samantha, I hope you will get well soon. We miss you in the community. We want you to come back. Blah. I don't know what BYTBY means. Help. I classify you as a superhero. Oh, is that bring yourself to be yourself? Or we can call him Alex. That's even shorter than BYTBY. Is this the beginning of a beautiful bromance? Probably. Jonathan, watch out. Alex will talk your ears off. By the way, last week, you guys subscribed to Alex's channel, and then he had to remove it because he noticed that he was super shadow banned. That's why you guys couldn't find it. So why don't you guys go and subscribe to his channel again? Give him some bromance or even romance if you like. He's a good guy. He just talks a lot and has a disaster brain. Aha, yes, I should. People steer clear. Thank God I have some trauma and bitterness about past life experiences. Yeah, please do not. Don't go and kill people that hurt you in a past life or whatever. That might be a little bit dodgy. Oh, Miss Pagan, I just got the notification for this. Damn it, YouTube. 31 minutes late. That's not okay. If someone has blood sugar swings since early age, and when blood sugar low cravings come up, would the recommendation be to just sit and accept the sensation of hypoglycemia, or okay to eat healthy food? I mean, if you have hypoglycemia and you are feeling the effects of hypoglycemia, I would eat something. The thing with blood sugar is, if I get low blood sugar, I can eat 1 teaspoon of yogurt, and if we're talking millimoles per deciliter, it will jump up between 5 and 10 units. by just doing that. So you need very, very little to actually correct it. Sure, you can go and eat your meal if you're going to eat a meal anyway or whatever, but if you are like, I'm actually fasting now and I want to continue fasting, maybe you just want to have tiny bit of something to just push it up a little bit. Because in our whole bloodstream, you have roughly 5 grams of carbs floating around. 5 grams is fuck all. And 1 teaspoon of yogurt is like not even 1 gram necessarily. And it pushes my blood sugar up 5 to 10 units. And that might be all you need. Or maybe you need two spoons. I don't know. But I keep an eye on that and just work something out where you don't have to go and gorge because you are a little bit hypoglycemic. Just take that, give it 20 minutes, check again. It should have gone up. If it hasn't, then try to take a little bit more or, see what's actually going on. But it probably will. I don't like sound. No sound. I don't like sound either. No fucking singing. Someone was singing a lot last night. No names mentioned. Apparently I missed something lately. This is the first I'm hearing about this limbic stuff, so the ramblings are beneficial. Perfect. I haven't been talking about it a lot, Jim. I mentioned it on the Zoom hangout once, I think. I haven't mentioned it in the Facebook group because I wanted to do my research, read up about it, see what we're going to offer, etc. So I haven't really spoken about it. I figured I'll just leave it until I know what I'm talking about because it's kind of, whenever I'm talking about something that I don't know what I'm talking about, it's not really going to be in anyone's favor, and people who might benefit from it will not get the message. So it's better to just shut up. So that's why you probably haven't heard anything about it. I might have mentioned it on the Q&A in the passing as well, but I haven't really put a lot of information out about that. But the first class is on the 6th of March, so we're getting closer now. So when you sign up, you will get an automatic email sent to you. You will have the link to the Zoom that you can join at the time of the classes. There will be a link to where you can find a schedule, what classes are at what time. I think all the times are in Eastern Standard Time on the website. And if you have any questions, you can just reply to that email and someone will get back to you. So it will be all good. Samantha, sorry, pressed enter early. Doctors think I have a weird eating disorder because I don't want to eat their crappy food. I know better. Curious how it will go when I go home and make my own food again. Well, okay, Samantha, I have homework for you. You have the perfect opportunity now. I want you can start with just writing it down how you want it to go when you go home and make your own food again. Like, what's your day going to be like? And then you take that, you pretty much memorize it. You can close your eyes and then you visualize yourself doing it. This is just you practicing actually doing it before you have done it. Your brain is not going to be able to tell the difference between a visualization and a real life event. So when you're visualizing it, it's like when you go home, it's like you have already done it previously, even though you haven't. And if you're bored where you are right now, yes, you've evaded homework, Jonathan. If you're bored where you are now, like visualize it over and over again, add more and more details, add emotions, how you're going to feel when you're doing it. All of those things, the more you do it and in the more detail you're doing it, the better results you're going to get from it. Thank you. These episodes happen even after I ate a full satiating meal a few hours before, but if I take a walk, I often come back with these sensations. Okay. Well, you know best how to sort that out because there's so many things. Like if a walk is doing it for you, then what's happening during the walk? Do you need to eat something when you're walking, etc.? I mean, I don't know how much information you have, but you probably want to write everything down and figure it out, or work with someone who can actually help you figure it out. Because this is not a simple thing for you. It's kind of complex and so obviously a problem that you've had for most of your life. Hi, Michelle. I love Bart singing. Singing makes me laugh. You know what? When I'm watching his replays, it makes me laugh as well. If I'm sitting next to his mouth, I do not laugh because it hurts my ears. But yes, so he did the, was it not the Q&A that didn't work this weekend, but the previous one. I think he had Annabelle on as his co-host, and he was singing along, and her face was just like, I thought that was so funny. So yeah, it's fun to watch that way. It's just not so much fun to have it in your ear. Yes, but I can come up with some homework for you, Jonathan. What about taking a rage class? I can't even imagine you raging. That's the thing, because you're so level and like down to earth that I can't even see that. You shouldn't have told me. Now I'm just imagining this like mountain of muscle being like really angry and people being super scared. It's the interwebs. You don't need to know what you're talking about. All right. So I shall just make some shit up. That's perfect. Does Bart enjoy karaoke? No, he doesn't. So he has a friend who lives. Come on, Ness. Who lives on the North Island in. Well, now he lives in a town that it's called Howard. Or he moved. I can't remember. Anyhow, doesn't matter where he lives. We went there to visit him, and he was like, "We are so gonna do karaoke," and he's a really, really, really good singer. Like he's much better singer than Bart. And Bart can sing. I can't sing, so I would never do it because I would probably kill someone if I didn't kill myself trying to do it. And it was so funny because I could at least look at him singing, not Bart, his friend, and sort of appreciate that he's a really good singer. And I think Bart did as well, but he's like, this is cringy. He doesn't like it. So it's quite funny. But yeah, I would never do it myself. And nor would Bart. I think you would have to pay him a lot of money to do that. No rage, just controlled aggression. Okay. Angry thoughts that aren't expressed. Haha. Hulk smash. Whoop. Yeah. That's what I mean. Have this and have that. So what is it that annoys you so much at the gym? I'm curious. Tell me. You're just stupid people in the way? I have episodic, extremely painful erythromelalgia flares multiple times per day. Then I crave frozen, raw, or cooked salmon to cool down, but not even hungry. So in this situation, I think I need to sit with the cravings, I guess. Yeah, you can absolutely do that. But sit with the pain of the flares. Cold water does not help, if wondering. Okay, I'm not an expert at your condition by any means, so I wouldn't really know how to do that with cold water or anything. So I'm not going to recommend you to do anything. But if you don't want to eat and you just have cravings to eat, then obviously that's how you deal with that, and you can just sit with it. And I do recommend that you get the book The Way Out by trying to see where my phone is. I have my phone here somewhere. I can't remember the author. I will look it up for you. Let's see. Alan Gordon and Alan Ziv with a Z, Z-I-V. The Way Out. You can get that book because they also talk you through how to do this, and it may or may not help you, but it might be worth it. It's not going to cost you many dollars to do that. The gym is meditative. Good. Why are you angry then? Still not getting an answer to my question. Is Bart's YouTube channel an elaborate ploy to launch his music career? I doubt it. Did he put some shit on there last night? Now you make me curious, so I have to go and look. Because there was Yeah. Okay, so no. So he put an old video out there. Okay. I have no idea what he was doing, but there was a lot of. It wasn't any playing, guitar playing, but there was a bunch of singing going on and commentary. So I thought he was doing some singing and commentary of videos and recording it. I see. Lack of gym creates a non-meditative state. Yes. Yeah. I used to have that a lot. Now I'm used to not going to the gym because it would fuck me off to actually go to the gym because it's too far away. Um, and the ridiculousness when we went into lockdown, that's when I actually cancelled my membership because. But then I lived closer to the gym as well. But you had to go in, and there were like the uh, the thought police was there watching everything that you did, making sure that you are spraying all the fucking machines with the antiseptic stuff and wiping it off with paper towels. And it's, I mean, yeah, sure, clean the equipment, but that was just over the freaking top. And half the time when you're sitting down touching anything, it was just wet. And I don't want to have like this antiseptic shit all over my hands all the time. And having to book in to go to the fucking gym. Like you had to book in to make sure that there weren't too many people there at the same time. Usually it wasn't a problem, but the fact that I have to book in to just go and lift some weight fucked me off as well. And I did not like that reality, so I just decided to stop doing that. And now I would have to drive like 45 minutes to get to the gym, and I don't have time for that. So no gym for me, which is very strange because I've been a gym bunny for most of my life, and for the last 2 years, I haven't, and it's very, very strange. But I have some kettlebells around here. It's just that I've never been a home exerciser, so I don't do as much. And it's not the same thing. I like going purposefully to the gym, not just, oh, I have half an hour I can go and exercise. It's weird. Samantha, thank you for the homework. Haha. So she likes my homework, Jonathan. I am going to work on it. Maybe being around crappy food all day and not have a choice even helped me. Yeah. Looking forward to eating real food again. Yeah. That's so good. Like, keep that in mind and the emotional connection you have to that, and just look forward to like when you can feed yourself real nutrition so that you feel good. Like, that's a feeling that can fuel you to actually want to do it. It's like, right now, I'm in a place where I have no freaking choice and they're feeding me crap and I don't want to eat this crap. When I get out, I'm going to take the opportunity to just give myself whatever my body needs that is good for me and not go to all this other bullshit. So glad. Is this a coincidence? I went to the library to find The Way Out, but all the copies were on loan. Interesting. I don't know if it's coincidence. Do you have chronic pain? I mean, I know about your hand and stuff, but do you have any other thing than that? And I didn't know that it was chronic pain. I thought it was more pain when you're actually over exerting it. Um, it's about the exercise itself, not the ambiance itself. I do not like the gym sound or light. Oh yeah, fuck. Those lights that they have in gyms, they're usually horrible. Sophie and I usually train outside, which results in a less potential traumatic state. Yeah. I have forgotten about the gym lights. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I've been I was at a. It was not a CrossFit gym, but the owners were doing a lot of CrossFit, and they had equipment that I wanted to do Olympic weightlifting. So it was a normal gym, but they had some like classes that were kind of CrossFit type style classes every now and then, and other stuff. I didn't do those classes, but anyhow, they had all the equipment, so I used to go there, and it was literally in a like, it's almost like a warehouse, and the lights in there were kind of dimmed compared to a lot of other gyms because they're always very well lit up. And that suited me so well. It was just kind of dark and cozy, and I was like, yep, I like it. I hate when there's artificial lights everywhere. There's some gyms with some cool club like lighting, but that was annoying as well. Lol. Yeah, that might have been my gym. It wasn't like club lighting; it was just normal lights, but they were not as bright, which was great for me. Right, have you guys got any more questions? Meanwhile, I'll put this up again in case someone has missed it. So that's where you go if you want to give it a go for the duration of March and then decide whether you want to stay or not. And you have to click on the sign up though. I find that, haha, I'm now in a pro bodybuilder gym, louder but less strong lights. Overall, I prefer it. Yep. Okay, so if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm going to finish now because I have my coaching to do in 9 minutes. So I don't mind a little break and not having to stress and run from one thing to the other. Will the limbic system run year round one day? Oh yeah, it will. We're starting the membership now. Excuse me. Starting the membership now, so it will just go on. It's not going to stop. It's just that March is free, and after that, you will have to pay for every month that you're being a member. So it's a monthly membership. You can quit anytime you want to, or you can join anytime you want to. It's just that March is free because we want to give you the chance to just experience it before we get started for real, and maybe we'll get some feedback and we might have to change some things, and then we can just start building that community and focusing on making it as good as possible. So from now on, it's a permanent thing. It's going to be there every month of the year, and there will be, as I said, 4 classes every week. That might increase with time as well. We will have body up systems. We will have a private community, probably some virtual coffee dates, watch parties. Probably Scott will be doing that via Facebook, so that I have never done those, but he says that works really well for that. So just a lot of opportunities for people to connect with each other as well as taking the classes. And obviously we have Logan doing the exercise classes, so it's not just going to be about retraining the brain. We're also going to actually put the body part into the mind-body connection as well, so we have like all aspects covered. You're welcome, Jonathan. Thank you, Christina. Grazie, Pimina. Pimina with the Pimbic system. Thank you. Hope to see you soon in the Zoom hangout. Yes, I hope so too, Samantha. You get better and you just get on to what you want to do when you come back home. Love you guys. I will see you later. Bye.